What if your DNA holds more than genetic blueprints? What if it contains multidimensional information, ancient memories, and quantum potential waiting to be unlocked? Data that can help you embody the highest version of yourself in this timeline. But here's the real question. How do you actually access it? Beyond abstract concepts and theory, is there a tangible way to activate these dormant DNA codes? What if you've tried meditation, chakra balancing work, maybe even listened to some 528 Hz frequencies, but you're sensing there's a deeper layer of transformation waiting for you? Something that goes beyond just feeling good temporarily, to actually changing who you are. DNA activation. A pathway to ascension. Module number 1. DNA activation foundational concepts. The information you need to access for DNA activation to become real in your life is hidden and encoded within the layers of sound in our Soundscapes series. To unlock this information, you must learn to tune into these data streams, adjusting your personal frequency spectrum to align with the unique packets of information that are specifically designed for you. Think of it like tuning a radio. When you dial into the right frequency, suddenly the static clears, and you can hear the broadcast that was there all along, waiting for you to find it. Your DNA isn't just a static blueprint that you're born with and stuck with for life. It's a living, responsive broadcast system, a quantum antenna that's constantly receiving and transmitting frequency patterns, or packets of data. And here's the game changer: the vast majority of your DNA's potential remains dormant, waiting for the right combination of frequency patterns to activate it. What we're talking about isn't some abstract concept. It's about turning on capacities, abilities, and ways of being and knowing that are already encoded within you, just waiting for activation via your intention. And sound. Conscious, multidimensional sound, channeled by a source highly attuned to these data streams, is one of the most powerful keys to unlocking these dormant codes. Understanding this foundation opens a much bigger door. As you begin activating your DNA and raising your light quotient, something beautiful unfolds. You naturally start contemplating what many spiritual traditions call ascension. This journey naturally unfolds in stages. You'll move through mindfulness, meditation, guided journeys, shamanic work. And as you continue working your way through the various levels of our Soundscapes, we'll explore the deeper territories: energy mastery, multidimensional awareness, light body activation, and beyond. All the way towards ascension dynamics. You don't need to master every stage right now, or even fully understand where you're headed. Just stay with the process. Follow what lights you up, and trust that your higher self will activate the DNA codes that will guide you to exactly what you're ready for next. We are here, walking this path with you as well as many thousands of others, building the bridges from our 3D density to the fifth world of light. As you dive deeper into the DNA series of Soundscapes, new gateways and portals open as you're ready. This isn't about leaving your body or escaping Earth's teachings, it's about expanding your consciousness to hold more light, more love, more of your divine nature. When you activate higher DNA strands, you're essentially upgrading your operating system, which opens you to explore concepts that might have seemed abstract or distant before. Conscious evolution, shifting from dense 3D thinking into heart-centered 5D awareness, and ultimately, the possibility of transitioning between states of being, with full awareness and intention. Think of ascension as the natural destination this pathway is moving toward, not something to achieve or force, but something that emerges organically, as you remember who you truly are. We'll explore these deeper concepts later in the course, but for now, just know that DNA activation isn't just about healing or awakening dormant potential, it's about preparing your entire being for a quantum leap in consciousness that humanity is collectively moving toward. creators of this body of work. What we offer you is an evolutionary and revolutionary frequency-based sound and music series channeled by an old soul that will expand your consciousness and potentials far beyond what you may now consider to be possible. This is our life's work, actually several lifetimes, and whether or not we are still on the planet when you arrive here, you will have access to the breadcrumbs within the soundscapes containing the teachings within this body of knowledge and wisdom that we have attained. We are Gary and Joann Chambers. We have spent our lives exploring consciousness, energy work, and the mysteries of human potential. What makes our work unique is not just our individual journeys, but who we are together. We are twin flames creating together as ShapeshifterDNA, and we have repeatedly come together across timelines to assist planetary systems in stepping into their next level of evolution. This information came to us the deeper we dove into these sound fields, exploring the ultimate question that everyone needs to ask themselves: who am I? This isn't about being special or separate from you, it's about holding a specific frequency range and mission that complements the work you're doing in your own awakening. You each have a divine purpose and mission to unfold. Here's a clue: the answer is in your DNA file folders. You may notice we are using an androgynous voice to represent our transmissions here, a blend of masculine and feminine energies. This represents the balance of our unique partnership and the work we bring through together. Whether it sounds male or female to you is perfect because it reflects the unified gender field we operate from, beyond the limitations of singular gender expression. Are you one of these new humans chosen to walk the path of conscious evolution? If you're here, listening to this, the answer is likely yes. You're being called to activate dormant aspects of your DNA and step into your role as a DNA avatar, one who engages and fully embodies the ever-unfolding DNA activation process, using full awareness and intentional consciousness directed towards manifesting the next level of humanity's highest potentials. What makes this DNA activation process unique? There are many approaches to DNA healing and activation available today, and they all serve important purposes on the journey of awakening. We encourage you to explore different modalities and discover what resonates with your path. The more tools you have access to, the richer your evolution becomes. What makes this work distinct is its focus. We're not working with the physical, two-strand genetic level that science currently measures and manipulates, yet we do perceive that through harmonic resonance and your intentions, that you will be doing some refinements along the way. This is metaphysical DNA activation. We're engaging with the higher, dormant strands that exist in the etheric realms, beyond physical matter. These activations occur first in your light body and energetic field, then step down through your mental and emotional bodies, and ultimately influence your physical experience. While we can't make scientific claims about measurable genetic changes, what we can say is that this work operates in the subtle realms of consciousness, frequency, and multidimensional awareness. Learning how to access these fields is what we are here to teach you. This is advanced, intermediate to expert level inner work. It requires a foundation in energy awareness, a willingness to explore non-physical realities, and a readiness to work with concepts that current mainstream science hasn't yet caught up to. Your DNA as a quantum receiver. Think of your DNA as both a transmitter and a receiver, like a sophisticated radio system. Right now, most people's DNA is tuned to a very limited bandwidth. They're broadcasting and receiving on just a narrow band of what's actually available. It's like having a radio capable of picking up thousands of stations, but only being tuned to one or two. What happens when you begin working with these DNA activation soundscapes is that your DNA starts responding to multidimensional frequency patterns. As you align your intentions with your desire to fully awaken, you begin to communicate with your higher self matrix, and new DNA codes are turned on. Your broadcast range expands. You start picking up signals and information you couldn't access before. And here's what's crucial to understand: this isn't instant. DNA activation is a process of entrainment, of gradually calibrating your system to hold and operate at higher frequencies. Through graduated steps of harmonic resonance with each successive layer of new frequency bands, you start to accumulate knowledge through a process of osmosis. A divine knowing emerges. Everything is vibration. Everything in existence, every thought, every emotion, every physical object, every possibility, exists as vibration, as combinations of multidimensional frequency patterns, or packets. We call these MFPs for short. Your body, your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, your reality, all of it is fundamentally various frequencies expressed in different combinations. Your DNA is the master conductor of these frequencies within your physical and etheric forms. It is the software that runs that which is you. When you activate dormant aspects of your DNA, you're not adding something new to yourself. You're turning on what's already there, waiting for you to reach a certain light quotient within your form. The reality broadcasting analogy of your DNA. Here's an analogy that might help this begin to make sense to your analytical side. Think of reality like a vast ocean of radio signals, all broadcasting simultaneously at different frequencies. Right now, thousands of radio stations are transmitting through the space you're sitting in: news, music, talk shows, all existing in the same space, on different frequencies. You can't hear them until you turn on a radio and tune to a specific station. When you dial into 98.5 FM, suddenly that signal becomes your reality. Change the dial to 101.3 and you're in a completely different reality, different music, different voices, different information. Your DNA works exactly the same way. It's your quantum tuning mechanism. When more of your DNA is activated and functioning, you can tune into frequencies of reality that were always there but previously inaccessible to you. Insights, abilities, intuition, ways of perceiving and interacting with the world that seemed impossible suddenly become natural. And just like radio stations, you're not just receiving, you're also broadcasting. You're constantly transmitting a signal based on which frequencies your DNA is tuned to and activated for. Consider this deeply when you start to think about your manifestation abilities. The unconscious creation process. Most people are running their personal broadcast system completely unconsciously. They're transmitting fear, doubt, limitation, often because that's all their DNA is activated to broadcast, and wondering why their life keeps reflecting those same patterns back to them. It's like complaining about getting static while your system is only tuned to pick up and transmit static. You can't broadcast a symphony when your DNA receiver is only activated for noise. Are you ready to dive deeper and learn more about you? What we're going to explore together in this series is how to consciously activate your DNA to expand your broadcast and receiving range. How to turn on dormant potentials that allow you to tune into higher frequencies. How to use sound as a carrier wave towards what can be called the journey of enlightenment. This work requires commitment and dedication to really experience the long-range benefits. There is nothing wrong with just exploring it to see if this is something that makes sense now, or maybe it is better later on, when your life situation is aligned. As you listen repeatedly, you are entraining your mind to the concepts within this entire series, and making it tangible in your life. Through this entrainment, and the increasing resonance, you begin to feel deeply the musical sounds. Your capabilities will be greatly enhanced, and new abilities will emerge. Of course, with deeper listening sessions, this is where you set your intentions and begin the process of lining up your 3D reality with your 5D expanded consciousness to manifest dreams and desires. We will continue to explore these concepts in this series. But here's what most people don't realize about working with frequency and DNA activation. We will be teaching you a deeper level of understanding and awareness of resonance, bringing it to the forefront of your conscious mind, so that you will no longer continue to sabotage your dreams by allowing your subconscious streams of thought to assert themselves, creating drama and chaos around you. Because here's the thing, you can't activate higher DNA potentials while operating from lower frequency consciousness. The signal doesn't match. Your DNA responds to the frequency you are holding dominantly, and if you're unconsciously broadcasting chaos, that's the life experiences you will receive. Things to ponder moving forward. So as we close today's exploration, we want you to sit with this question. If your DNA is a quantum receiver transmitter, waiting to be activated, what frequencies are you currently broadcasting? And more importantly, what higher potentials are you ready to turn on? Add your thoughts in the comments below and we will respond as guided. In our next episode, we'll dive deeper into understanding your higher self frequency patterns versus your lower self matrix and why this distinction is crucial for DNA activation. Because which self you're operating from determines which aspects of your DNA can activate and express. The journey into conscious DNA activation through sound begins whenever you are ready. We suggest you continue with this series, but if you have arrived when we are in the creation process of this series and you feel ready to go further now, you can start with our free course called Toe Dipping for Newbies in our DNA Avatar program, which gives you some of our beginner-level soundscapes to get started with. We will put the link in the description below. Be sure to subscribe now, so you will get notified when we release new videos, and if you enjoyed the content, like and share this with your friends who you know would be interested in this topic. Namaste.